G'day YouTubers, Devil's Prodigy here. Turn 2 of the Mighty Empires campaign battle. Now we did a few of the steps out of turn in this round, so it doesn't flow too well, but in turn 3 it'll be a lot better because we've decided we really need to get it following the turns, so it makes a lot more sense to all you people who are watching. Anyway, we did do the events phase first. So in the events phase, Snap, he chose Fool's Gold, which basically means I cannot collect any revenue this round. Og chose Scouts, so both Snap and I have to deploy our whole army first when we're facing Og, and he gets first turn as well, so that's a really good one to get. And I chose Land Grab, which means the first tile I claim this turn only costs me 1 Empire point. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting round. It's a shame because I've got 3 mines and I can't collect any revenue, so that really sucks. But anyway, the first game that we'll present here is Orcs and Goblins versus High Elves. And this is how the battlefield looked. I actually got to deploy the 2 towers, so I tried to move them closer in from the board edge, trying to coax Og into not putting his archers and mage in a tower. And then we rolled for the scenario battle, and it was battle for the pass. So after all that, he can still easily put his archers and mage in the tower. So alrighty, we'll go into the deployment phase. Okay, my Orcs and Goblins army first. I've got a Savage Orc Great Shaman with a Lucky Shrunken Head in a unit of Savage Orc Biggins with full command. Then I've got a Doom Diver behind them. Then I've got 40 Night Goblins with Spear and Shield and a Standard Bearer and Musician and 1 Fanatic. And in the next unit I've got a Night Goblin Shaman with the level 2 upgrade with a Night Goblin Big Boss who has the Bad Moon banner. And they're in a unit of 40 Night Goblins with Musician, Standard Bearer, Nets and 2 Fanatics. The Night Goblins also have Spear and Shield. And then I've got 30 Orc Boys with the Musician, Standard Bearer and extra hand weapon. And lastly I've got another Doom Diver. Okay, now Og's High Elf army, he's got a Lion Chariot of Thrace, a Noble on a Griffin with an Enchanted Shield and Dawnstone, 5 Dragon Princes with Standard Bearer, Drake Master with the Shield of Merwyrn and the Banner of the World Dragon. Then he's got an Archmage with a Relic Sword and the Book of Hoth in a unit of 20 Archers with Standard Bearer. A Noble BSB with Biting Blade and Gleaming Pennant in a unit of 20 Spearmen. And they've got a Standard Bearer and a Repeater Bolt Thrower. Okay, all deployed, and High Elves go first because of the Scouts rule that they picked in the event phase. So turn 1. High Elf turn 1, Fireball is cast at the Night Goblin with Shaman unit and kills 3 Night Goblins. Piercing Bolts of Burning is then cast at the same unit and incinerates a further 7 Night Goblins. The Repeater Bolt Thrower fires and kills another 2 Night Goblins out of the same unit. In Orcs and Goblins turn 1, all the units pass Animosity. Gorkle Fixit is cast on the Dragon Princes and Sneaking Stabbing is cast on the Orcs. The first Doom Diver fires at the Dragon Princes and kills 2, and the second Doom Diver misfires. Wild Shot is the result, and the Goblin goes flying off the board and into the brick wall. High Elf turn 2, the Noble on Griffin and the Chariot both charge the Orcs. The Griffin gets within 8 inches of the Night Goblin with Shaman unit and 2 Fanatics are released. Only 1 Fanatic made it through, but it hit both the Griffin and then the Chariot, but only caused 1 wound to the Chariot. Fireball is then cast at the second Night Goblin unit and it burns up 7 Night Goblins, and the archers kill a further 2 Night Goblins. In close combat phase, so many Orcs are slaughtered, with only the Orcs causing 1 wound to the Griffin. The Orcs lose, but they pass their break test. In Orcs and Goblins turn 2, Animosity is passed and 1 Fanatic explodes on a roll of a double 6. Gorkle Fixit is cast on the Griffin, and the first Doom Diver misses the Archers and Mage unit, and the second Doom Diver redirects into the Spearmen and kills 6 Spearmen. In close combat the Orcs lose and flee, and the Griffin catches them. High Elf turn 3 and the Chariot charges the first Doom Diver. Fireball is cast on the second Night Goblin unit and kills 4 Night Goblins. The Archers then fire at the same unit and kill 6 more Night Goblins, with a further 3 Night Goblins dying to the repeater bolt thrower. In close combat, the Chariot destroys the Doom Diver and reforms. In Orcs and Goblins turn 3, both the Savage Orcs and the second Night Goblin unit fail Animosity and charge. The Night Goblins charge the Dragon Princes and release a Fanatic which does nothing. The Savage Orcs charge the Spearmen but fail to reach them. Hand of Gork is used on the Night Goblin with Shaman unit, and Brain Burster causes 1 wound to the Mage. The Doom Diver fires at the Spearmen and kills 6, and in close combat the Night Goblins and Dragon Princes fight it out. The Dragon Prince loses but passes its break test. In High Elves turn 4, the Griffin charges the Doom Diver and the Archers and Mage move into the building. Fireball is cast on the Night Goblin and Shaman unit and kills 4 Night Goblins. The Archers then fire at the same unit and kill 7 more Night Goblins, and the repeater bolt thrower kills 1 Savage Orc. In the close combat phase, the Night Goblins and Dragon Princes stay locked in combat because the Dragon Prince again passes its break test, and the Eagle destroys the Doom Diver. Orcs and Goblins turn 4 and the Savage Orcs charge the Spearmen. The Spearmen elect to flee and the BSB in the Spearmen unit dies. Gorkle Fixit is cast on the Dragon Prince at irresistible force, with the miscast result wounding the Savage Orc Great Shaman, and in close combat the Dragon Prince again passes its break test. Turn 5 High Elves, Piercing Bolts of Burning is cast at the Night Goblin and Shaman unit and kills 5 Night Goblins. The Archers then kill a further 5 Night Goblins and the unit flees, leading to the Night Goblin BSB dying. In close combat, the Dragon Prince and the Night Goblins tie, so they stay in combat, but what we actually forgot is I've got a musician, so the Dragon Prince should have tested for its leadership. But anyway, into Orcs and Goblins turn 5. In Orcs and Goblins turn 5, the Night Goblins and Shaman continue to flee, and the Savage Orcs fail Animosity, and I roll another 1, meaning that the unit does nothing, so no magic, no charges. Really bad result. In close combat, again, the Dragon Prince and Night Goblins tie, and again, yes, the Dragon Prince should have tested because I had a musician, but my fault for forgetting. Turn 6 High Elves, the Chariot charges the fleeing Night Goblin and Shaman unit and captures it. The Griffin charges the Night Goblin unit in combat with the Dragon Prince. In the magic phase, Fireball kills 4 Savage Orcs. Fulminating Flage Cage is then cast at irresistible force at the Savage Orcs and kills 1. The miscast result is Dimensional Cascade, which results in 17 Archers being wiped out. That was very painful. Luckily though, the Mage didn't roll a 1 to 3, so it was fine. Then the Archers killed a further 1 Savage Orc, and the repeater bolt thrower kills 2 Savage Orcs. In close combat, the Night Goblins, they are absolutely obliterated by the Griffin. Turn 6 Orcs and Goblins, and the Savage Orcs again fail Animosity and have to charge the Spearmen. 1 Savage Orc dies from the fulminating flame cage, and then Fist of Gork is then cast on the Savage Orc Great Shaman. In close combat, the Savage Orcs win combat and the Spearmen flee, and the Savage Orcs catch the Spearmen. And that's the end of the game. It's a crushing victory to the High Elves, and you can see there all I've got left is my Savage Orcs and just a little Fanatic. So yeah, absolutely got smashed by the High Elves. Great game, and we'll have a little bit of a wrap up. Okay, just some after the battle thoughts. There was a few things I did wrong in this game, and firstly, the obvious one is with the Night Goblin versus Dragon Princes. I had a musician, he didn't have a musician, so when the combat tied, he should have still rolled for a break test, because I would have won the combat. It could have changed things. I could have actually caused him to flee. Could have caught that unit, but again, it's my fault. I forgot to do it, so live and learn basically. But one of the other things I really regretted was in the Magic, I had a choice between Hand of Gork and Foot of Gork, and I actually took Hand of Gork, and it was a big mistake because I didn't really have any offensive spells, and what this meant was I couldn't really do much damage to those units that were far away from me. So if I had Foot of Gork, I could have really stomped on him quite a few times, hopefully, and did a bit more damage. But again, it's something to remember for next time. And finally, I think that the biggest thing I learned from this battle is Orc boys, and you can see from the picture here that combat where I got decimated. Basically, what I'm going to do next time, I think, is put a Orc big boss or some sort of Orc character in with the unit, just to give it a bit more of a hard hitting. So if it comes against like a chariot or like the griffin or something like that again, then it can do a bit more damage, because I just find orcs, they're okay, but savage orcs are just so much better, and I'm sort of at two minds whether to take the orcs again. Maybe I should just have more savage orcs. They seem to do a heck of a lot better. Anyway, though, it was a lot of fun. Looking forward to the next game, and I hope you really enjoyed this battle report. Okay, guys, see you later. Bye.